Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and merciful. I, Professor Iram Nausheen, welcome everyone on behalf of Electronics and Telecommunication Department of Anjuman College of Engineering and Technology. As a part of our webinar series conducted earlier on different topics, Department of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering is back with yet another interesting and value-added webinar on digital marketing. So today we have with us our resource person, Mrs. Mousumi Kanungo. She is a campaign analytics manager, Qantas Loyalty, Australia. She's associated with industry from last 10 years. She worked with Tech Mahindra for Qantas projects. We welcome you, ma'am, and thank you for accepting our invitation.
Hi, everyone. Do you want me to?
Yeah.
Sorry, Iram.
Now, I would like to request Mrs. Mousumi Kanungo to proceed with the session. Ma'am, people are eagerly waiting for you. Over to you, ma'am.
Pressure is on. Before I start, I would really like to thank Anjuman College of Engineering and Technology for giving me the opportunity to bring this topic in front of all of you. My sincere thanks to Dr. S.M. Ali, Principal, Anjuman College, Dr. A.S. Khan, sir, HOD, Electronics and Telecommunication Department, and to Professor Iram and Professor Moshina for giving me this opportunity. So before I even dig into this topic of digital marketing, I would give you brief background about my journey so that you all can associate how did I make all my way from Nagpur to Australia in Sydney in Qantas Airways. I was one of you, maybe 10 years back. Yeah, I was one of you in 10 years back with heaps of dreams. But what made it very difficult was once I got placed, it was very hard. The things I knew in the college and the things I was told in a professional environment did not gel together. I knew I had the skills of technology to do things, but what I did not know the concept how to implement. It was really very hard for me to understand the technological part and understand the concept behind why a company is doing what they are doing and connect the gaps. So that's why what I decided is I would bring to you a topic and try my hard to make sure by the end of this presentation you can understand the concept and how technology revolves around this concept, so that when one of you or all of you make your way out of this college, it would be very easy for you to understand how you can implement technology in a day-to-day thing. So, digital marketing. The topics we are going to cover today is the overview of digital marketing. Why digital marketing? What are the objectives associated with that? Goals of digital marketing. We are going to go through few types, as in what are the channels and few examples, and the customer journey, because everything is associated around a customer, and the strategy associated with digital marketing. And we will also go through a email marketing process, what we do from the start to the end, what are the tools associated with it, and towards the end of the session we are going to do a recap to see that if all of this gels together and can we understand how technology is coming together with the concept. But before I go into the next slide, I want the session to be very interactive. Please don't feel pressurized to ask questions. Any question is a good question. No question is a dumb question. So yeah, I think the pressure is on me because I have the face, but you guys can send your questions anytime. And if I'm going way too fast, ask me to slow down. I'm not going to get offended with that at all. If I'm going too slow, ask me to speed up the process. I'm not going to be offended with that as well. So the rules, we want it to be interactive, ask questions. No question is stupid. And yeah, let's dig into the session now. Overview. What is digital marketing? The name is self-sufficient, digital and marketing. So marketing of a product or a services in the digital platform is actually called digital marketing. It's actually an umbrella term, but under this there are multiple channels. They are there, and the global term is just called as a digital marketing. And we are going to go through a bit more deep dive about what are the channels associated, what are the types associated with this digital marketing. And why digital marketing? I don't think anything can better explain to this thing apart from the quotes which Bill Gates gave in 2018. If your business is not on internet, then your business will be out of business. And our live webinar is one of the example. Uh, Not, I don't really want to say thanks to COVID, but it has proved that how digitalization makes an impact to all of our life. And the same way, digitalization is making an impact to marketing. Why digital marketing? Going back to the history, marketing was always done. It is just possibly we are aware about that now. In the conventional way, we used to see the ads on the TV, either by Amitabh Bachchan or by Aishwarya Rai or like one of the like leading actress of Bollywoods. We used to see billboards like when you used to cross the squares. I remember Jagnade Square because that's where my college was. There used to be big billboards promoting something. Or if you just go somewhere, someone would give you a visiting card. That used to be the conventional way of marketing, but it was not very cost effective. Because can you think of how many printing cards you need to print if you change your phone number, you change your email address, or with the billboards? Like, because you cannot be showing the people the same information again and again. And even for the ads, like the money that get given to the actor and actresses are way too much. So the frequency, the difference of ad, that's not something which can come in the market very easily, right? So it's very clear that the conventional way was there, but it was a very pricey way, and people started to find new ways. So what happens now? Marketers, which is like marketers from any company, marketers now rely on new ways how they can connect to the audience. Just to give you an example, a marketer could be a company trying to sell you a goods, like a Apple could be a marketer, Big Bazaar is a marketer, even your college could be a marketer. To give you an example, when you guys come into the college, like in the first year, you get the brochure. That's nothing but a marketing material which is trying to promote you about your college, that how the past of the college has happened, like how the past student who were passed out, how they were there in that college, how they performed, what was the score, to give you those kind of way. But now what people have figured out, rather than giving a brochure, is having a website a better way? Possibly yes, because it's at your convenience. You can just go anytime and look at the website and find the information. That's why the second point, marketers have found out different way to connect to the audience, and the audience could be me, you, all of us. And that's the digital way. Marketers have now a range of options which they did not have in past, thanks to the digitalization, like Facebook, Google search, YouTube ads, email, SMS, many of it. Don't worry, it's bit too much when you say, how is Facebook an ad channel or digital marketing channel, and how is Google search is digital marketing channel? Because normally you go to Google search to find the address or something about your assignment, but I'll take you through and it will all make sense when we go to the next slides. Then digital way of marketing is straight on audience face. We all know we are on our phone much more than we talk to our neighbors or our brothers and sisters or parents. So if a marketer is able to place an ad which is straight on our eyes, that's going to make an impact. That's why the digital way is the new way of doing the marketing. And even the way they calculate the performance on these platforms is much more effective. Because, so I'm going to stop here and compare the point 1 and point 4. When we used to have the conventional way of marketing, it was very hard to know that how many people actually saw the ad and went in and bought a toothpaste because Amitabh Bachchan was advertising for that, right? Very hard, because you could just buy it because that was the only available toothpaste. So it's very hard to say how much the ad made you to change your mind. But if you go by the digital way, if you like you see some ad, you click on that ad, you go and do the purchase, we all can track it back and say that because of this ad, you converted or you took that product. So the way it has done an effect on marketing or the performance has changed as well. Now we are going to go deep dive into understanding a bit more of digital marketing, that what it is all about. Whenever anybody does any marketing, there are always objectives. As in, Same with our life. Why are we studying? Because we have an objective in our life to prove that we can do some difference, either by our actions or by our work. Same way, digital marketing needs to have some objectives. Objectives like acquisition objective, which is we want to acquire people. What I will do here is I will give you two kind of examples so you can relate both in your home way or both in your college way. Acquisition is when the brochure get given to you, that is the acquisition material that get given to you. Your college is trying to get you admitted there. They're trying to acquire you. You are a customer to the college because at the end of the day, when you take admission, they're gonna get money. In return, they will give you the education. So it's kind of marketing. We want to acquire more people. Taking it, Big Bazaar sends you all these offers, or you see the pamphlets. You see the pamphlets, they're trying to acquire you. You go there, you buy the product. So that's the acquisition objective. Then conversion. They want you to convert. So they want you to take up the product which they're trying to sell you. The product could be a education, the product could be a toothpaste, or the product could be a MacBook. It could range like you are a customer and whatever you are exchanging for money could be a product. Retention. They want you to come back because what's the point if they are not able to retain you? So if they are able to give you a better service, like if you go to Big Bazaar, you got 1+1 free, you're more likely to come back again. That's another way of marketing. They want you to come back again and take another product. And then there is the fourth objective, which is advocacy. They also want you to be their word of mouth. If you got a better treatment, what they would want you to go and say is, hey, I went to Big Bazaar and there is 1+1 offer going. Why don't you try it? Or on the other case, you go to, like, you're already studying in the college, you're getting a very good service, your teachers are really good. You go to your cousins and say, hey, my college is really good. You should try taking admission in here next year. So that's what you're doing, is you're advocating the marketing objective. So in turn, you are helping your college to get more students, or in turn, you are helping Big Bazaar to get more sales. So that is nothing but you are advocating for them so that people can come in and use their products. We are going to go to the goals. Anytime there is marketing, there is always something hidden behind that. Why are we doing marketing for no use? We were doing marketing because we want people to take up something. It could be a college admission. It could be even a medical test. It could be buying a product. It could be buying a car. It could be even buying a holiday ticket. Anything. They all are nothing but products. So at the back of selling the product, what company want from us? They want increased revenue because everything is about money, right? Why they're showing you something? Because they want you to take it up so that they can get more money out of it. They want better conversion. They want more people to take up the product, so there is more conversion. Conversion is when you convert by taking up the product. And when it is digitalization, they want more people to come to the website because then that's when they know that more people are interested. That's one of their goals. They want more people to come to the website so they could give them an indication that these many people are interested to take up the product. They want decreased bounce rate. So before I go, what is bounce rate? So that's a technical term we use in the website or domain world. We don't want people to come into the website and just go out, let's say within a minute or two. We want them to spend time. We want them to do the purchase. We want them to get more information and then go out of the website. So when a person does not stay in a website for stay in a website for a very small amount of time, that's when we call it a bounce rate. We want it to be decreased. We want people to spend more time in the website. So our bounce rate are very low. That means the engagement from the members on our website is very high. At the same time, we want repeat customers. Any company want repeat customers. So taking the example of a Big Bazaar, if you went in there, they would want you to come back again. Same thing. If you have studied from a college, we would want you to ask your friends or your family even to come into that college, because in that case, we are sure we are getting more customers inside. So let's talk about the market trend a bit more. As we spoke, historically, things were on print media, like newspaper. The first page of the newspaper used to be all about ads, which was straight on the customer face. But now, how many people use newspaper? How many people really wait for the ad in the TV? The All these way the ads and things or the marketing has changed, as I have said before. It's all in Facebook, it's in Google, it's in email promotions, it's in SMS, it's all over the place. Like every time you open or touch your mobile phone, even in the apps you see ad. TikTok, I know it is no longer in India, but there used to be ads which you cannot skip. There used to be ads on YouTube which you cannot skip. They are nothing but a way of digital marketing. And you'd be like, why is she telling us all these in this presentation? The reason I'm telling you all this in this presentation was, this is where it was very hard for me. I struggled to figure out, why is Facebook showing me some ad? I just thought about it or I just searched about it. How come Facebook know that I was searching about it in Google? Or I see an ad in Google and I'm like, oh, I just visited that website. Why is Google showing me this ad to take this product again? Or suddenly there would be an email in your mailbox and you'd be like, oh, how come there is an email asking me to take up this offer? I was just doing a search. Or it could be an SMS in your inbox saying that there is 10% discount in somewhere. So we are just going to go through the examples of the same so that you can relate all these what I'm saying to you in a real world. So I'm very sure all of you are very much familiar with these pictures on your left, which is Facebook. You see there is a very small lettered word saying sponsored. They are nothing but ads. These are digital marketing. The companies are trying to collect your data and try to screen you and see who is fit for what offer, and then they show you these kind of offering in Facebook. You get, and then company do send you SMS. Like when I was in India, I used to get a lot of SMS from Reliance Fresh talking about the offers they have on the weekly basis. That is nothing but digital marketing. YouTube, I'm very sure all of you spend a lot of time in YouTube watching hopefully some good stuff. YouTube, you see the ads where at time it is skippable ads, at time it is not. They are nothing but a marketing. In this case, I have taken a screenshot of a company trying to sell socks. And what happened is you're seeing the video, suddenly an ad pops in. At time you can skip it, at time you cannot skip it, as I said. But what they're trying to do is take your 2 minutes of attention and are trying to sell something to you. You might convert or you might not convert. Towards the extreme right, there you see a picture of a hamburger and there is a small Lego burger. You'll be like, is this marketing? Yes, it is a kind of marketing. It is called content marketing. What they're doing here is they're not giving you a lot of information. There is not a lot of text. All it says is, I'm your father. And there is a small burger and there is a big burger. But the way it creates a visual representation in our brain, it is saying clear enough. There is a question. Facebook shows ads because of the recommendation system they are using. That's correct. But the recommendation system uses ads. So what happened is, you are the customer here. You see the ad. Facebook is here, and the marketers or the company stands below. If I'm a company, let's say Qantas Airways, the company I work for, we sell airline tickets. What I would do is I will tell Facebook, I'm going to go deep down in the next slide, but you're correct. I'm going to say I want to target these kind of people who are more likely to take an airline offer and travel from India to Australia. Then I'm going to tell, this is the bidding I'm going to go for, this is the money I can spend. I will give all that information to Facebook. Then what Facebook will do is Facebook will do its own screening. And then it just does not work on the recommendation engine. It uses all this data and tell that maybe Iram is more likely to buy an airline offer because she has been searching about it in past in Google. They collect all this information and that's how the recommendation engine gets created. It is nothing but a big web mess of digital marketing which we use to market something to you. I'm going to hang on to that question because I will touch on that how all these things happen. Then towards below, you see an example of email marketing. Airbnb is sending an email to Matthew asking about how was their stay in Airbnb, which they had booked. And they're taking up a survey. What they're doing here, they're just asking you, you came to our Airbnb, you stayed in there, how did you feel? And they are just asking for user input. They're just trying to collect data from the user so that then they can either decide how they would treat another user if they had a bad experience. So they change the experience, or if it was a good experience, they can put it up in their website and say that, hey, this particular Airbnb stay had a good experience. and you see, this is the Google search, SAT prep. So you see these ads, these are nothing but digital marketing. Of course, there is recommendation engine in there. There is a big whole algorithm of bidding process that happen in there, that who bids the most. And when I say bid, it's like you have, like, there is a money bidding that is happening because all the companies are trying to get your attention, and the one that bids the most happens to be on the top rank. And this is nothing but digital marketing. So these are keyword search marketing, or we call it search marketing. Same way, this is just an example of digital ad boards. Now, the old paper ad boards have gone. It's more digital ad boards because they have more length. You can put in more different kind of messaging in there. The cost to the market is less, and it's all digitalized. So I took you guys through the examples of digital marketing. Now we are gonna go more about the types. You might be like, why I did not show this slide to you before and I showed the example to you. The reason I did that is you see those examples every day. It is just possibly you don't know what those examples mean. The very first example, so very first type, which is search engine optimization, was nothing but this one, the SAT prep test. So you try to search something, that Google goes into a optimization mode, try to search. There is a bidding that happens in the end in a very complicated mechanism, and the people who, or the company who wins the bid, their ad would be served to you at the topmost. Then there is pay-per-click. If you happen to click on these ad and you convert, or when I say you convert, you take up the offer, that's another kind of type of channel. Then we have social media marketing, which was our Facebook, or even now in Google, you see on the top, like in your Gmail, you see on the top there are ads given to you. They are nothing but social media marketing. Or in Instagram, when you see some ads, or in YouTube, they are nothing but your social media ads. Then we have content marketing, which was the picture of hamburger from McDonald's. So it's only content, it's just a picture, but it is telling you what they're trying to tell you. Then there was an email marketing. It could just be about collecting the data, or it could be about a promotion. So as I said, I come from an airline background. We do have sales and promotions. And when we do have sales and promotion, we try to tell it to the people by email. We try to place an email in their mailbox and say that, hey, there is a sales coming up in next 48 hours. And we would be discounting the tickets by, let's say, 20% or 30%. And then we expect people to convert. Then there is something called influencer marketing, which is the new YouTube generation. You see so many youngsters, they're trying to open their YouTube channels, and then in between they start to talk about the product. They're actually doing the marketing by their channel. What they're trying to do is that, like Mama Earth is one of the big one. Any content marketer you see, they try to talk about the Mama Earth product. What they're trying to do is they're trying to influence you that they have used it, and because you are their fan base, you are more likely to use it, and the companies behind that are gonna make money out of it. Then there is something called SMS marketing, where I showed you the example of this, or something like Reliance Trends or Big Bazaar, and they're trying to sell you something or telling you about the offer. That's digital marketing. Radio and TV ads, this is a broad way of digital marketing. At time when you're listening to Radio Mirchi and stuff, you listen about some ads, like some other promotions. They are nothing but digital marketing. An electronic billboard, where you go to the airports and you see that at time they're trying to show you a Reliance Trend stuff, but the next time they're trying to show you a Tanishq stuff. That is nothing but a way of digital marketing. You can call these as channels, or you can call these as types of digital marketing by which a company reaches its audience. Why do companies have to do digital marketing? It's because marketing alone cannot drive revenue until we understand at what point we need to inject the digital marketing in there. That's why I put this slide to talk through it. When it is about digital marketing, it's not going to be a success until we don't understand the whole concept and the whole story. It's all about a customer. It's all about a customer journey. If you guys remember, we spoke about the objectives of digital marketing, and there was a prime objective which was about acquiring the members. How we acquire new members into a program. We speak about our product, we talk about that in media, and we talk about that in social media. So anytime a new product is launched, we speak about that in articles, we speak about that in social media or in the normal like news channel or TV. And that's how we acquire or get customers. Then what we do is we activate customers. That means we are trying to sell them something because they're still hot leads. And then that's not it. We are trying to even keep them, because just getting them, giving them a bad experience is not going to be a successful marketing. We try to keep them. How do we try to keep them? We try to send them emails informing about our program. We try to do contests or the competition. That's and they get to know that if we are doing a competition, they have a fair chance to win something out of it. That's another way of keeping them engaged. We keep them telling about the product updates, that if we have a new feature coming in our college, as in a new department, that's a way you try to keep engaged. Or if, let's say, going back to my Big Bazaar example, they're trying to now, let's say, open the Apple phone branch, and they're updating the customer that going forward, we are going to be also keeping Apple phones. That's another way of updating and keeping the customers engaged. Last but not the least, we create the loyalty program. Loyalty program is not a very well-known term known in the market, but what it does is we are trying to keep our customers loyal. We are trying to create a base of customers who are loyal to a product, and in return, we are trying to give them some benefit out of it. When airline used to be a big thing back in non-corona days, when customers used to travel a lot, we used to give them discounts. We used to give them points that every time they fly, they get these many points, and they could use the points or redeem the points to get a free ticket. That's nothing but an example of loyalty program. And then we try to grow our customer base, because that's just one product we are selling. How do we tell them to get more product? We do upsell. We try to sell something else. Then we do next sell, or we cross sell. Like if, for example, tomorrow Anjuman College of Engineering opens a sister branch, what you would do? Cross sell, because what you will say is, we have opened BSc branch. If you have anybody, why don't you ask them to join this? That is like upsell or cross sell. Or you refer people, referral programs, and then when you refer more people, they happen to become the customers. And that's how this cycle keeps going on. And this is like a viral loop which needs to go on, because, oh, I'm so sorry, there have been a lot of questions. I'll pause and read the questions before I go. I think I've covered all the questions. Saf had the question about Facebook shows the ad because of the recommendation system they are using, but I think I have taken that question. I'll elaborate it more when we go into the data part of it. Okay. So customer loop needs to be viral, because we need to get more customers, keep customers, and grow customer. That's a key for any digital marketing. Let's recap. What did we speak about? Why digital marketing? Because this is a digital era. We need to have different ways to do the marketing. We need to talk to the customers on their face. That's why digital marketing. We spoke about the objective of and goals of digital marketing, which was like acquiring the customers, convert them. Then we have the advocacy, so that they can go and talk about it to other people and we get more customers. We spoke about the goal of digital marketing or any marketing. We spoke about the goal, which is about we want to get revenue, we want to get repeat customers, we want a good experience on our website from the customers so that they can keep coming back to use our products or our services. And we also spoke about the customer journey and how digital marketing plays a very key role in there. So let's now talk about strategy. I think by this time, this picture would have made some kind of sense for a lot of you, if not for all of you. So anytime there is a marketing or there is a program, we need to have a strategy that why are we doing it. Now you know that we need to have our goals and objective very clear, which is what are we trying to achieve in there? What do we want our digital marketing to achieve? Identify your customer. We have to do proper research to find out whom we want to target. So this is where I would go back to Saf's question about recommendation engine. It's going to be which tool can we use for? I'm gonna cover that as shown during the use of app and mobile phone in PCC and Google Ads Market. I'm gonna cover that, Rahul, as well in the next time, as in the next slide. Um, Bear with me, I'll cover both of those questions. I'm not running away without telling you these details. But this is important to understand, and then we are gonna go and jump into the data and it will all make sense. So identifying a customer is important, because if we don't identify our customers and we get trying to give them an offer, they're not gonna convert, and that's a waste of the money. And we also need to be mindful about what our competitors are doing, what are the digital strategy they are using, so that we can do better, if not the same. And we need to decide the role, that what are the skills that we need to use. And that's where, Rahul, I'll cover your questions. How do we have those skill sets so that we can decide who needs to do what? SEO and SEM, these are nothing but perform keyword search, which I showed you a few slides before in the picture, saying that when you do a keyword search, Google shows you a list of stuff. And then you have SEO, which is your search engine goes through the search mechanism, and people who do the bidding happens to be the first one to be getting in there. There are paid search, there are pay-per-click, there are nothing but the types of that. So I'll stop in here and cover the Google Ads. Google has its own suite of applications behind the SEO and SEM, and these are all the tools, because the digital marketing uses different kind of tools for different kind of channel. So if we're just talking about the search, they use DV360, they use bid mechanism, they use SA360. These are all the names of Google, like Google Analytics, to keep track of who is doing what, where are our customers coming from. And I'm going to show you those pictures, because I cannot really take you through an example of tool because of the rights problem. Then we have social media in the strategy, which is which social media we should be using. Sure, if it is a young audience, maybe Facebook. If it is like professional audience, maybe LinkedIn, because we don't expect professional talks to be happening in Facebook. That's why LinkedIn. If we are talking about making a viral impact, go in Facebook. When we launch about a new product, that's when the social media strategy comes in the picture. Then it's about the content marketing, like what kind of content we want to put in there, like how our content creates a positive story with the member. That's very important. And then we have mobile marketing, so that we are making sure we are talking about the right thing at the right point in time. And email marketing, so how do we increase our customer base, how do we create good emails, and how do we make sure that we are reaching the customer mailbox in the right time to give them the right information. I believe by this time, the first part of the presentation has started to make a bit of sense, and it will make all sense when we reach to the end of it. I'm going to give you an example of email marketing, how it all happens, and talk about the tools. So what happened is marketers, like the creative team who design the content, they sit with the analyst, which is the tech team who write the SQLs, like select star, like those kind of coding stuff, like for you guys to know. They sit with the analyst who can analyze the data, and they sit together and talk about what kind of campaign we are trying to do, who should be a target base. Like we just cannot go and market to anybody. We need to know whom we are marketing our content to. So they sit about that, make the strategy, decide the channel. In this case, I have taken the example that they have already decided email is the channel to go for, and now they're talking about what kind of content they would be doing and what kind of leads we would be selecting. Then the analyst comes in and they do the segmentation. Segmentation is nothing but the data analysis. We go back to our database and we try to find about who are the customers who are more likely to take the offer. That's why I said it is just not the recommendation engine, it's a bit more than that. Recommendation engine needs information to recommend you. For example, if the recommendation engine starts to recommend me that go and start studying in engineering college, I'm a lost lead. I have already finished my engineering. Why would I go and study in engineering college again if I already have the degree? That's why the data analysis is very smart. It just cannot be Facebook data because it's much more than that. Yes, it is Facebook data, but the companies do give them their own data and we do a merge of that. And that's when the ad gets shown to you. In this case of email, now the analyst comes back and they start to look at the historical data, the trends, how did the member convert to that particular campaign in past. If they have any data, they find all of that information and then they start to set up the campaign. The campaign setup happens in campaign tool. It could be as simple as MailChimp to as complicated as Marketo, Unica, Aprimo, Teradata, Adobe, all of these marketing tools, and the content gets created in Adobe CMS Contentful, where they put the pictures and stuff. So the campaign setup happens where we have decided whom to target. The marketers have decided what kind of content they want to show, and that's when they decide when to make the data available. And then the campaign execution happens. After the campaign execution has happened, the final email gets created and we place it in members' mailbox. And once we have placed it in member mails box, what we do is we do monitoring. We want to know what they're doing with that email. So once a member open the email, or when you guys open the email that get placed in your mailbox, the company who is sending you the email, they get to know what you're doing in there, what thing you have clicked, what you have done. All this information comes back to the company, and that becomes a critical part for the next campaign for the data analysis, because we want to know how many people engaged with that email, who clicked on what, if that email had multiple links and things, who clicked on unsubscribe, who opened, and all of those things. And that becomes the data for the next campaign for us to know. And this is how our email marketing platform works. Google one works slightly different. They don't really have a lot of setup. What we of course decide the content, we decide the segmentation, that whom we want to target for that email. We upload. The difference in there is the campaign setup happens in Google platform, which is DB360. We set up our customer base in there, and then the campaign execution happen, and you get to see the ad in your Facebook Messenger or in Google or in even in websites. The ads which you see, they are nothing but digital marketing. But behind the scene, we are sending the data that who should see what. And then we again do the monitoring. And tools like SA360, they do the monitoring for us and tell us how the campaign is particularly behaving. Now we are going to go more into the segmentation, which is data analysis and segmentation. What kind of data normally companies have? Companies have geographical data. That is something Google can tell us, like where are you from, which state you're from, what language you speak. So every time you join a program and you fill in all these details, these data are very useful. All the data you fill, you might think that, oh, it doesn't really make any difference. It does make a difference. It makes our life way a lot easier to decide who should be targeted for what kind of campaign. That's when we collect this data. All these companies, wherever you give your data, just be mindful, because this data gets sold. Other companies buy this data because they don't have this data. Then we have demographic data. What's your age? What's your gender? What's your income like? What's your occupation? What life stage are you in? Like, are you married? Do you have kids? Like, are you single? Those information goes back into the database. That becomes a big part of the marketing. Then we have psychographic data. Your lifestyle. Do you want to play cricket? Do you like to watch football? Or what are your opinion about politics? Like, you fill all of those things. The like and dislike which you do in Facebook, that's nothing but data, which we guys get back, and we use that. Like, someone hates Donald Trump, or maybe don't show them this kind of product. That's all becomes the part of the recommendation engine to decide who should be targeted for what kind of campaign, and that's when the campaign or the ad comes in front of you. And the same way Google does the same thing. It is just they're two different companies, but they do have a data sharing thing where Facebook let Google use their data and Google use Facebook their data. Then we have behavioral data, but this data is the hardest one to get, because to get someone's purchase data or their intent to purchase data or whatever they do on the website, we only get this kind of data when the member have become the part of a program. Then only we get these kind of data available. So just to give you an example, if you are collecting the data on your college website and you see people are like browsing the site, if you happen to collect their data, which location they browse from, what was the IP and things like that, and or if you can create just a form saying that drop your details in here, which is like their name, demographic details and geographical details, you could send an email to them back that, hey, we saw you that you were interested in this particular section in a college website. Are you wanting to get some more information? So you're trying to give them more information, but suddenly it became a marketing audience for you, and you're using their data to decide what kind of messaging you want to do to them. Data collection. This was not a big topic, or this was not a big drama many years back. Now it is a very big drama because of the privacy. You would have seen few days back, few weeks back actually, Facebook said that it's going to be integrating its channel with WhatsApp. Whatever data or whatever chats you do in WhatsApp, Facebook can read all of that. That's nothing but data collection and things. So we have first party data, which is the company's data. In your case, your first party data, when I say your case, in your college case, the student name, their home address, which department they are studying in, their parents' details, if the income is there, nothing. These are nothing but your first party data, which is being hosted, which you have given to somebody. Then there is third party data, which is like you will come out of the college, you will join a company, you will put your data in LinkedIn, and your college can take those information to create a bigger database of alumni base. Then they are using the third party data to make a bigger base. Then you have browsing data. Whatever you guys browse on website, that data gets stored, that gets sold to the company. That's why we know that you will abandon the cart. Like if you're on a e-marketing site, you put something on the cart, but you never purchased. And then 5 minutes after, you receive an email in your mailbox. That's because at the back of it, we are trying to collect your data and see that did you buy the purchase or did you not do the purchase. If you did, we would send you a thank you email. If you did not, we will send you another email saying, hey, we saw you were trying to buy this, you did not. Are you still interested? And I know Myntra does these kind of emails a lot because they collect your browsing data, they're using it, and then they are remarketing the product to you. Then there is something called cookie data, and that's like a deadly one. The reason I say is, you see it now in a lot of websites where they say, do you allow us to collect your cookie data? So what happened is with the cookie data, we just drop a small code in your computer and we are collecting your web browsing behavior. And then once we have collected all those information, we give it away to somebody like Google or Facebook. And we all use that data to decide that what kind of offering we can give to you. That's why cookie data is very, very, very critical for marketers, but it is very deadly. And that's why Facebook or Google or all these companies know so much about you, because what we are doing is like we are sitting behind your web browser looking for what you are searching. Once we know what you have searched, we just give the data to the companies to use them for their marketing. That's where the data collection comes in the picture. Now I'm going to talk about the tool. So we spoke about the analysis. That's where either one of you or many of you would end up going. I was an electronics and telecommunication student, and I end up becoming a campaign manager later on. And what I did was I was doing select query, either on Teradata, MS SQL, or even on like Excel sheet. So select query just looks like select your last party name, like what am I selecting from the database. So I'm writing all those things, and when I get the data, that becomes your customer base, and then you can do the analysis. Then if we talk about the campaign tool, this is just an example of the campaign tool. All these colorful orange boxes, blue boxes, green and red boxes are nothing but your customer segments. One could be someone who is trying to do flight search, someone who was trying to buy shoes, someone who was trying to buy or look for a college admission. They all are nothing but the data source. Inside each of these boxes, we write the select query to find what we are trying to find from the database, and then this all data flow defines the campaign. And then we in one of these boxes we decide which channel we want to send this data to. Do we want to send it to Facebook? Do we want to send it to Google? Do we want to just send an email, or do we want to send an SMS? So we use Teradata in our company, Teradata Sim, and this is how we do a campaign. So in this campaign, we use all this data, and we send the data to multiple channels. Each yellow box is a channel. It could be SMS, it could be your Google ad, it could be a Facebook ad to email. Then we have CMS tool where we design the content of the email, and we normally do it in Contentful or in Adobe CMS. And then we have monitoring tools where we want to know how the customer is behaving with what we have shown them either on the web or what we have sent them on the email. And we use campaign tools, we use Google Analytics, the Google product, we use Facebook Insights. If any of you have used that, it's free for everyone to use. If you have a page or you're selling something, you can see how many people are coming in and get insights from there. We do use Adobe Insights to know how members are performing. I have got a screenshot of that. So this is the example of Google Analytics, where it shows that these many users came into the website, these many are new users, this is the average time they spend. So we want this average time spent to be longer. That's when the bounce rate would be lesser. And what's the revenue value they have added? Did they buy anything or not? At the same time, we just see that where these users are coming from. Are they just coming from an organic search? When it says referral, it means that it's coming from a Facebook ad or it's coming from a Google ad. And then we have social media. Is it coming from a social media or it is coming from an email? So we can see all of this for a campaign which we are running in the market, where they're coming from. This is where we see that if they're coming from this particular channel, how many sessions are coming. Sessions is nothing but how many users are still connected to us and they're doing what they're doing on the particular ad product. So it just tells us the numbers in there. Here, it just shows you the geography, that where these members are logging in from. That's where your cookie data comes in the picture. If you're logging in from Nagpur, it's going to be making India like a lot stronger. Let's say if I'm logged in from Australia, it's going to make Australia stronger this way. Towards the right, this is an example where we write the content, what we want to say in the email or what we want to show. So, and then we just write the content, and we once it's all decided, we move from draft mode into preview mode, and then we publish, and that's when the whole email is all decided. Okay, just doing the recap of what we all spoke. We spoke about the strategy of digital marketing, why it's important. Examples of email marketing flow, we spoke about that. We spoke about the tools available in the market, and we spoke about how the data collection happens and why it's important to understand about the data collection. Yeah, and you all would be wondering a bit that, oh, this was a whole lot of concept. The reason I brought in the whole lot of concept is we have a lot of misconception about how the technology connects to the digital marketing. At the end of every ad you see, there is an analyst like me writing select star from a database with where condition to find out that who are more likely to convert and who are less likely to convert. And there is a marketer sitting who is deciding on the content and showing you. So this was just my attempt to make you guys bring more closer to the digital marketing, which you see every day, and how the mechanism of all of it works. If you want to know more about it or more in depth about a particular topic, I'm more than happy to come in again and talk about a specific topic. But I just felt it would not be fair if I just jump into the how we do it before knowing why we should do it, and how, like what are the main reasons we do it this way and what are the complexity around it. So that brings me to the end of my presentation. Before I close, I'm Mousumi Kanungo. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I'm a campaign project manager in Qantas Loyalty in Australia. I was one of you, as I said. I started my career as an engineering student in KDK College of Engineering in Nagpur University, and then I made my way, got campus placed in Mahindra Satyam, which was taken over by Tech Mahindra in past, and I was a hardcore techie. Like I just felt like coming from a engineering college and being a telecommunication engineer, the first project I would do is I would possibly create a campaign. Sorry, I would possibly go and create a mobile phone. The reality stuck hard, and I just realized, okay, it is not that hard to create the mobile phone. It is much more than that. Like there is so much which we don't understand or just don't have the understanding when we're in our study mode to know about what we are doing. That's why I thought I would bring the concept to you, because I struggled when I came into Qantas Australia supporting what I am supporting. So there is a question from Rahul. Campaign setup and campaign execution are organic or inorganic? No, they are not organic, they're inorganic. So organic means you're not doing anything and the member is coming and buying the product from you. Inorganic means you are spending an effort to find who needs to be targeted, how they needs to be targeted, what are the content you need to show, how much of money you need to spend on the social media. If you are trying to put up an ad in there, or if you're sending an email, how many emails can you send? And that's inorganic. That needs a lot of strategy to go in to create that campaign. So organic is if you're just coming by your own, you are searching in Google and you're landing up in a particular product and buying it. That is what we call as organic, when a company has not put in effort for you to end up buying the product. There's a question. I'm a mechanical engineer. How I get into the world of digital marketing? Look, I'll be honest, as much as I hate to say it to an engineering student, you are an engineer. You can do anything. Like, because the reason I say it is you have the application brain. Mechanical engineering, you're designing a car. Oh, maybe that's what you would think, that after you come out of your engineering, possibly the first thing you would design a car. But you would be taken by shock when you get your first project and all you would be doing is possibly aligning the wheel, balancing and stuff. It's just applying of brain. Once you understand the concept, you can come in there. And how do you get into the digital marketing? Once you have finished your course of engineering, there are so many courses available. Like there is Google courses available which are for free. I'll try to find some, and if I find the free courses, what I'll do is I'll connect to one of your faculty and give them the links so they can give it to you, and you can learn more about that, get hands-on, that how this ad happens, how can you have more marketing knowledge in there. It's nothing the application mind, so don't worry. I have people in my team who are not even engineers and they are doing digital marketing. But the way I see, if you have the application mind, you have the intent to understand, you can do everything. Any more questions before I hand it over to the professors? And don't worry, you have not lost the opportunity to ask me questions. You are more than welcome to drop the questions to me anytime you want via professor, or you can take my details, my email address from them. If you want to know more, I'm more than happy to give you whatever I know. And trust me, when I came into this world, I had no knowledge. There are security issues in digital marketing. Oh, yes, there are a lot of security issues in digital marketing. That's where I'm saying that be very careful about the data you fill in any of the form and you do. And it's as much as I hate to say it, it is true, there is security and people are not aware. And that's one of my attempt to bring in awareness. What people don't know, when you save your credit card information, that data is collected. Someone can use it in some other way. That's why like there is security. You just need to be mindful about what you are doing when you are using digital marketing. But when you do in a bigger organization, we follow the right thing. We inform the customer what kind of details we are collecting about them. uh, be mindful. Few tips when I can give you: when you get email, don't open any email, look from the sender details. You can find out if someone is trying to mimic like somebody, or is it from a like legal channel, like is it the right company sending you this. And when we do digital marketing, we make sure all these security issues are covered. But there are monitoring, things can go wrong, there are people always trying to do the wrong things. So we try to make sure that we are not doing the wrong things. But when we do, we try to attempt to fix them. Like, just to tell you that we had dramas where someone was pretending to be one of the Qantas marketing email template, and they stole people's identity. And the people started calling us and complaining about that. And as soon as they did that, what we did was we informed the member, we froze their account, stopped their points, and then once we sorted out the issues in our end, then we recreated another account for the members. Look, this topic is very interesting, the whole digital marketing thing, and I could go on and on because that's where I have spent my 10 years of my career. So yeah, like because I have already spoken for 1 hour, I'll hand it over to the professors if there is no more questions. And thank you so much for all of you to be there. What is the scope of digital marketing and how much other requirement do we? Oh, the scope of digital marketing is huge. It's never going. It's there. Like it's not going anywhere. Like it's there for the next, I don't know how many years. Like it's there. What you need to know, once you go in one of the IT companies, something like Tech Mahindra, Satyam, Infosys, TCS, any of them, Google, if you get to go there, very good. Adobe, Facebook, then they do a lot of work in these kind of things. But one thing is funny when I say that is a lot of companies don't outsource their marketing stream because it's all about the company strategy, how they make money, and they don't want to outsource it to a private organization because they would just know how the company is making money. That's why it's a bit tricky. If there is no questions, I'm trying to read if there is more questions. If there is none, I'm more than happy to call it a day. There are heaps of job opportunity in 2021. What you see with all this digitalization, every company is trying to market, every company is trying to show you something. So what I've shown today, keep an eye how many times you see these things on Facebook, on Google, and all these things, and you would know that some analyst is sitting in there trying to fix the algorithm or trying to do something with the recommendation engine. So the opportunity is huge. You could start like a analyst working on a recommendation engine to a target analyst. Collecting someone's data is a crime. Yes, it is. And that's why what we do is we tell them when we collect their data. We just can't collect the data without getting the consent of the member. But in saying that, the laws in all the countries are not very great. Australia is very strict on that. We cannot collect the data. And for every collection of unfair data, we could be sued, or any company could be sued for easy $1 million fine. In India, they're working on getting a law because it's hard with a big country, but they're working on a law, and the law is likely to come in 2021 and 22. Once that law is there, you could ask a company or any organization about what all data they have collected about you. You could ask that to be deleted, or you could even put a case on them if they're unfairly collecting your data. No company should collect your credit card information. That's unethical. No company should collect any of your information without informing you. That's unethical. So be mindful when you put in your details in a non-reputed site, because what these non-reputed site happen to do is they sell your data to somebody else. Even though it's unethical, the web environment is so complicated. By the time they get to know, the data is already lost. How can we get projects from digital marketing from abroad? Uh, I don't know how to answer these questions because, as I said before, every company wants to keep their marketing intact. If okay, let me rephrase. If your idea is all about you want to come into a country outside Australia, or sorry, outside India, and want to make your career, there are other ways to do it. Indians are very much liked outside for their technical knowledge, and they like all the other countries know that they add value. They're very hardworking. They're very smart. So all I would say is believe in yourself. Do what you are doing when the time is right, and when all the ducks are aligned, things would happen for you. Don't aim for any career looking that this career is going to take you abroad. Look, staying abroad is no drama. I'm so much away from my family. In this COVID, I have not seen my family from past 1.5 years. It's not fun. So try to do what you're doing best in whichever area you are. If you're honest to what you're doing, you will be successful in your life. I'm just trying to see the question. There are no more.
Um, is there any question from the participant they can post? Okay, there is a question. Mostly, are you able to see that question?
How are the bad links characterized?
Yeah.
Sorry, I did not get this question when you asked me how are the bad links characterized. Do you mean that if someone is trying to take your data away, like if you could just explain that question a bit more, hopefully I would be able to answer you.
Um, I guess he might be saying bad links means security wise or so.
Uh, if it is security wise, do not open anything on your phone or any links which you are not aware of. So I think you're possibly referring to when you get a SMS and there is a link in there. If you're not aware of the person or the company who is sending you a SMS, do not open it. And if the link does not talk about the company details, for example, if we send a email, if we send a SMS, we would say that QantasAirlines.com or something. We would never say HTTP ABCD or something. If it looks fishy, don't open it. Go into the web, search that if there is a scam going in, I'm very sure you would find some answer. The same thing happens. Never give your password or save your password in any site which you are not aware or you have never used. It's always better to be vigilant rather to give up your personal details and then later suffer for it. There is another question. Can you suggest any skills to get we have to gain to get this job? Um, you're from telecommunications, right? You guys would be studying any of the coding language, like maybe Java, C++. Learn one of the SQL language, like MS SQL, and it's very transferable. If you know one language, you could learn another language. And once you know that, all these recommendations are written in C, C++. All these targeting are written in a SQL language, in Java. Like when we decide to show something, it's all in the backend. It's C, C++, Java, Python. Learn Python. That's like the new language. It's very, very powerful language that's going to help you guys to secure a better future. I think I've covered all the questions till now.
Yeah, you have covered all the questions, mostly, and there are no more questions now. So here we are ending the session. So I would like to request Professor Mohsena Anjum ma'am. Okay, there is one more question. What are the characteristics of a bad backlinks?
I am sorry, Rahul, I don't get your question. I'm more than happy you can drop me an example and I'll email you and answer you back on the question. There is another question, which is, can you elaborate the term segment for a digital marketing? Oh, of course I could. The segment is nothing but your target audience. Whom are you intending to target is a segment. Segment could be a combination of the audience or it could just be your audience. So let me take an example. Let's say Adidas came with a new shoes, but it's for the young people. So the segment would be anyone who is a male or female. That's one segment. Anyone who is the age bracket of 25 to 30 is another. And then anyone who is in sports kind of liking, that's another segment. We club them all together and that becomes the target audience who would be shown that Adidas ad because they're more likely to take up the shoes and convert. That's like a segment. Or in case of credit card, you get all these credit card emails, I'm very sure. Anyone who is earning, that's a segment. Anyone whose salary is between X thousands to X thousand is another segment. Anyone who does not have a bad credit record is another segment. We would combine them all and then send you a credit card acquisition email. That's like another segment example. I hope I answered your question. And if there are more questions, more than happy to answer more.
Okay, so there are no more questions. People are saying thanks for answering my questions and all. They're very good feedbacks, mostly. And now I would like to invite Professor Mohsen Anjum ma'am to propose the vote of thanks.
Uh, Thank you, Iram ma'am. I'm audible, all of you.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, audible, please.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Iram ma'am. On the behalf of ACET, I, Professor Mohsina Anjum, ETC Department, I feel immense pleasure to take this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks for the webinar. I extend my sincere gratitude to our principal, Dr. SMLE sir, and respected HOD, Dr. AS Khan sir, for giving this opportunity. I would like to thank today's speaker, Mrs. Mousumi Kanungo, for enlightening us with wonderful session. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you
And
so much, ma'am, for
also
giving
I
the
would like to
opportunity.
thank, okay, and also I would like to thank all the participants for this valuable presence and support. Thank you one and all. Thank you so much.